This is where Jimmy McGill practices law, a room that also stores a water heater. Now look at this. Same man, same city, a few years later. Let's talk about what happened. Let's start with the walls. The walls are made up of wooden panels, the kind you'd find in a basement. This isn't a space someone designed, it is a space someone ended up in. And then there's this, a water heater, sitting right behind him while he's trying to practice law. The show deliberately put it there because it tells you immediately what this room actually is. It's a storage room that Jimmy has decided to call an office. Next we have is this desk lamp. Even the lighting feels like it's barely trying. That small yellow lamp is doing all the heavy lifting in a room that wasn't built for anyone to actually work in. But look at the desk. There's a pen holder, there are papers, there's a phone. He set this up properly. He's showing up every day to a room with water heater and he's treating it like it's a real office. And honestly, that's the most Jimmy McGill thing in the world. The room is a mess, but the effort is completely genuine. And then we have this phone moment. This is how Jimmy found out if anyone needed him. He checked, he walked over to that phone, he pressed the button and waited to hear if anyone had called. Think about what that actually feels like. You are a qualified lawyer, you pass the bar, you show up every single day to a room with a water heater and a yellow lamp, and at the end of the day, you walk over to a phone and hope someone left a message. This is the moment which tells us about Jimmy and where he is in his life. Now look at this. This is how Saul Goodman finds out if anyone needs him. He doesn't check, he doesn't wait. By the time he walks into that office, they're already there, a full waiting room, a secretary managing his schedule, people who drove across town and are now sitting in the chairs hoping he has time for them. Jimmy waited for a phone to ring. Saul Goodman walks past a room full of people waiting for him like he doesn't even notice. Same man, completely different world. Now let's look at where that world lives. Now look at this. The columns first. These are Roman columns, the kind you see in courthouses and government buildings. Places that are supposed to feel serious and permanent. Jimmy McGill worked next to a water heater. Saul Goodman built himself a room that looks like a courthouse. And look at what's behind him. We the people. The opening words of the US Constitution sitting right there on the wall behind his desk. So when you're sitting across from Saul, the Constitution is literally watching over him. That's not decoration, that is a statement. The circular windows, the high ceiling, the symmetry of the whole room, nothing here is accidental. This isn't an office someone moved into. This is an office someone designed from scratch with a very specific feeling in mind. You should feel small walking in here. That is the whole point. And notice how he sits in this room. In the back office, he filled the space. He was almost too big for it. Here, the room completely swallows him. The columns are taller, the desk is wider, the ceiling is higher. Saul has built a room that does the talking for him before he even opens his mouth. Jimmy's back office is the office of someone who was told directly or indirectly that this is what you get. A water heater, a wooden panel wall, a lamp that barely lights the room, and he accepted it. He sets up his pens and his papers and he got to work anyway. Saul looked at that and built the complete opposite columns. Constitution, a desk you have to walk up to like you're approaching a judge. When you have spent years being invisible, you don't just want an office. You want people to walk in and immediately know that you matter. Every column, every engraving, every oversized piece of furniture is his answer to every person who ever looked at that back room and didn't take him seriously. He got the office he always wanted. He just had to lose himself to get it. This was my analysis of Saul Goodman's office space. Let me know what do you think about this in the comments below. Thank you for watching.